Bhairava Kalike Namostute. Om Namo Bhairavaya Namo Namo. Om Namo Bhairavaya Swaha. Jai Madhya, Jai Mahakali. So good morning, and we are back on yet another video. And today's subject is that I want, as more of us get into the world of BATUKA SWARNAKARSHANA BHAIRAVA, I wanted more of you to understand and realize who he is and why it is important to take that path once you have decided. And all of you have been doing the Nama Japa of Om Bhairavaya Namah for many lakh times, and now it is time to take a little bit of a direction, because the mere fact that you are all still around on Vrityaloka, it simply means that you still have desires that the physical body is supposed to attain and realize and then burn it off at the smashana. So this sort of a state, at this sort of a state, when you start calling out to a deity like Bhairava, who is the elemental collapse of Brahma Loka within that specific galaxy. So if Brahma is the creator of our specific galaxy, there are multiple galaxies, there are multiple realities across the realm, which is something that is addressed across videos in my channel, where we have very clearly stated and understood that across the cosmic galaxies, it is Mahadeva who has his eyes everywhere, presence everywhere. He is aware of every leaf that falls across the realms. However, for Brahma, he is limited to his specific creation alone. This is a known fact. So now that you all have been calling upon Bhairava, however, within you, you have so many desires. You have the desire to prove it before your neighbor that you have well established in life. You have the desire to show it to your relatives that you are doing well in life. You have the desire to fulfill your mother's wish that she always wished to see you at this state, which she could not realize through her husband, or some wish that she heard her father tell her, and now she wishes you to accomplish that. So her ideal or her idea of what is the definition of success is defined by what she heard her father say. Now that it is there in your blood, which ultimately is your desire now. There is no separation between what is her desire and what is your desire. Both are the same. Every drop of blood that you carry and that has given you life, now you have the duty to pay it back to it. However, as per Brahma's design, there will be problems, there will be hurdles, there will be karmic restrictions which do not allow you to finish off that achievements, which do not allow you to attain those goals, because you're not meant for it, because there are specific karmas, because there are specific growth and birth designs that have placed hurdles in front of you, so you cannot proceed. So now that you have all been calling Bhairava, he hears you, and very clearly the message is coming through that the right form, that everybody who is living in samsara, whether you're married, unmarried, a student in a college, living life with desires in the samsara, that is very much in the deepest underbelly of the society itself. You are completely inside the society, whether you are miles and miles, 500 kilometers away from the metro cities in some farm, you're still in samsara. You're still very much in society. And when it comes to society, when Brahma's every design is collapsed and taken over by Bhairava, how do you think that he would not take over the most important aspect of it that you associate that with? That is wealth, gold, what glitters. The highest state of grandeur was always judged by gold. You pray to KUBERA so that he gives you the blessings of gold. However, it is said that he gives you KUBERA as a deity is worshipped across belief systems. He is worshipped in Jainism, he is worshipped in Buddhism, he is worshipped across the belief systems that is spread wide all over the Vrityaloka. He has been granted the ability to give you wealth. However, it is a borrowed wealth that he would give you, because he by himself did not attain the state of owning wealth on Vrityaloka. It is not by himself that he attained that ability to give wealth. He himself was given this boon by none other than Swarnakarshana Bhairava. Vatuka, under the Vatuka family, when Vatuka attains various forms, Vatuka Swarnakarshana Bhairava is the one who gives Kubera the nama, that is Dhanadha, the one who can give the boon of wealth. This name was given to Lord Kubera by none other than Swarnakarshana Bhairava. And it took him not 1,000 years or 100 years of penance. It took him 10,000 years within the deepest forest, where he sat and meditated upon Swarnakarshana Bhairava. Before he was given the boon of Dhanadha, you can grant wishes, you can grant boons of wealth. This ability of Kubera to give that to his anybody who approaches him in the right manner was given to him by Swarnakarshana Bhairava. Now, as per Brahma's design, you are supposed to go to Kubera. On the other side, you are supposed to go to Ma Lakshmi for the ability to retain and hold wealth. However, when we talk about the elemental collapse of Brahma's design in every facet, that is, anything and everything has created, when the fifth head was taken away and said that you, as per your design, you say that these four heads that you hold, the four Vedas, this is how you have to approach grandeur. This is how you are to approach realization, Brahma. When I take the fifth head from you, I give the entire wealth of the four heads in my way. That is what Bhairava says. In my way, in the path of Mahadeva, he gives you that ability to attain what is there in the first four heads within one single head. The fifth head is the most powerful. Even Brahma was not allowed to keep it. In that, when you go, when you have already called upon Bhairava as the deity that now collapses the designs of Brahma, you also need to understand that your prayers towards Kubera, your prayers towards Ma Lakshmi, you have to now rise above it. You have to rise at that point where Kubera is given the ability and the right to say that, hey Kubera, I am pleased with your penance, and you may now be given the ability to grant wealth to those who approach you in the right way as per your own Vedic styles. However, we are now rising above. We are rising above the four heads, breaking down these four head wala path that will take you to Kubera, and rising above it and going to Swarnakarshana Bhairava. Swarnakarshana Bhairava, when Vatuka attains that state, he not just takes control of the Mrityu Loka's wealth reserves. He takes control of, he tells Brahma that whatever is the path that you have shown, that this is how the man and the woman will live in grandeurs. This is how the man and the woman will build wealth. This is how the man and the woman will build properties, a bloodline, exceptional sons and daughters, and for thousands of years their names will be heard. All this that you have set up. Now I come here and I take control of this. And I now project myself as the direct path to realization of all these desires, and then attain realization. So it is absolutely your Om Bhairavaya Namaha has to manifest, and ultimately, if you are in samsara, getting attracted to the state of Kala Bhairava, saying that I absolutely he is my form. Kala Bhairava is my form. I want Kala Bhairava. You are directly talking about the Smashana. You're full of desires. You want to attain that. You want to show your relatives that you're A, B, C, D. You want to show your neighbors that you're worth of this much. You want to show your parents that because they doubted you, you want to prove it to them that you have attained it. You want to prove it in front of colleagues. You want to prove it in front of your boss, and you want to prove it in front of the entire society. However, these thoughts are very much the thoughts of somebody who's full of prana, which simply means that you're not at the state of Kala Bhairava at all. But all of you have been wondering and thinking that I will directly go to him. However, he himself has given the path. You do not directly jump to the board exams. You have 12 years, right? Why do you go and write the board exam at the 12th year? You need to complete 10th, you need to complete 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th, everything needs to be completed. Only then you can reach the board exam state. So the Swarnakarshana Bhairava gives you the path to be the Nayaka, or the hero, or the main character, or the king within the Brahma's design. He tells you how to live with absolute grandiose. Path to him, when Brahma says that you pray to Kubera, you pray to Ma Lakshmi, and then you attain wealth. Please note that any wealth that is attained through Kubera is said to be non-permanent. And Ma Lakshmi by herself is characterized as that she will not be stably present at one place all the time. She will be present and then she will move. That is the nature of Shakti itself. Now Kubera, the one other deity who can give you a lot of wealth, how is he classified? He will give you wealth, but it will not be a very, like, he is not the originator of it. He is not the originator. He has been granted the ability to give you wealth. However, he is not the originator. So when you take wealth from somebody who is not the originator, wealth that you hold within or you can attain will not also be originated and organically given to you. It will always be borrowed. It will always be with karma. So I was talking to I've been talking to many people, and there is this general statement that we make, I wish to be like him. So in this example, it was a very famous actor who in our loka is worth a few thousand crores. Now, when you say, I wish to be like this actor, as rich as him, live in as grandiose as him, his house is so big, it has got so many bedrooms, there are fans standing in front of his house waiting to just see him for a second. I need to think of something. Now, we are not going to get into the actor's life. That is immaterial right now. We get into how the wealth is acquired within Mrityu-loka. We are seeing the struggles he goes through, seeing the controversies that surround him, and it is not easy for somebody to rise above the ladders. It is through grace, but grace of who matters? By the grace of Kubera, if somebody were to rise at the highest state of grandiose, at the highest state where wealth is not just money in your pocket, it is also fame, it is also grandiose, it is also legacy, it is also the number one status, it is also the status where people are looking at you and envying, and everything that is attached to the things that I just listed out has karma. When it comes to the path of Kubera, there is karma attached to it. You are taking from somewhere, somebody else wished they owned it, but you are taking it. The number one spot, when you take it, there are 100 other actors, there are 100 other IT professionals, there are 100 other bankers, there are 100 other businessmen, small-time traders who wished to be in your spot. And what will they do? They will give you the negative karma because of nazar, because of wishing that they had what you had. This itself will add karma to you. You have to step on others' toes to grow in the path of Kubera. He will give you all the wealth you require. All the wealth you require, he'll give it to you. But with that, he will also give you karma. So the point is not to live one life with a lot of wealth. The point is not to have thousands and thousands of crores at the cost of 10 more lives, wherein you will just come back to burn everything. So I was just walking down the road a few days back, and a very terrible stink touched my nostrils, and it was so bad. I generally don't look around and all when I'm walking. I'm just very focused towards my direction and I keep walking, but the smell was so extreme that I just turned and looked around on what it was, and it was the most terrible scene I saw. There was a man whose body was he had leprosy. He was seated under a shut down shop. In front of the shop there is nothing there, so there's a shut down, go down kind of a thing, and he's sitting in front of it. He's full of flies. His body stinks so much that I, who was a good 5 to 6 meters away from him, my nostrils are full of the smell of decaying flesh. He's full of flies and insects on him. He's begging. My eyes met his eyes. My eyes met his eyes for a minute, and I did not take pity, or nor did I feel sad and all that. I wonder, what is the karma? What is the karma of this person who's sitting there? What was he in his previous birth? What was he in a different realm? What did he achieve there that he's burning here? This thought entered my mind. Why have I been made to see his eyes, the pain in his eyes, the helplessness in his eyes? He's asking for money. However, let me tell you, people are not even going near him to give him money because of the stink, of the general horror that scene was full of. People are not willing to go near him to even give him money. And even if you give him money, his legs are full of wounds. His legs are destroyed. He cannot even get up. He will, even with the money in hand, this man will not be able to get up and walk up to a shop. He has kept a small, some paper, newspaper, cardboard sheets and covered. He's trying to cover his wounds. That is supposed to be his legs, which is just leaking mass of flesh. He's trying to cover it up. Even if I were to give him money, it would be of no use, because he cannot even get up and use that money. Money that is gotten beyond your karma has the same value. You will come back to burn it. You will be back, or there will be a realm of reality where you will burn it off, and every toe that you step on, while you take the grace of certain lower level deities, you take the grace of certain Shaktis which you're not supposed to or meant to have, and you traverse higher and higher in wealth, in attracting money, in attracting grandeur, in attracting bungalows, cars, next 10 generations worth of food. Remember, all these messages have already been given by Sri Krishna. In the 4 arrows which I have spoken about in this channel itself, there will be wells that are overflowing with money that they can no longer even wells that are overflowing with water that they can no longer even consume it, but they will still keep the water and it will overflowing. It is unused. It cannot even be used by them. Because it's beyond their ability, and there is one well that can hold nothing. So the well that is one day overflowing, there will be another life where the well will have no water. It has to be tallied. Prakriti is the greatest act of balance. You play within the Brahma Loka, one life, you do this, you get, talk about the 1,000, 2,000 crores of wealth, you will come back. Every time you have insulted somebody because he did not have wealth or the power to push back at you or poke you back, you enjoyed your power to such an extent that you are so powerful and so full of money that you used certain forces, you used your political clout, you used the power of your money to just hit somebody who cannot hit you back. You will come back and sit as that man sat helplessly, even with money in his hand. He has a bowl which has money. He has a bowl in which he has been given money. He is calling people like this, but what is he calling for? He might be calling for giving that money to somebody to get him some food. Now think of this for a second. He has a few hundred rupees lying in that bowl. However, if he took that money and gave it to you, people will not touch that money out of fear. They don't want to go near him. He has money. Money is the greatest act of karmic balance. So when you wish for money, you need to go to the source. Who is the source? Who is the one who granted the ability to grant wealth to others, to Kubera itself? It is BATUKA SWARNAKARSHANA BHAIRAVA. He is the one. So when you go to him, he is well aware of who you are across realms. Kubera, the deity called Kubera is across. He is also across all realms. He is also there, like Sri Krishna was there. He is also across every realm. He is also still here. He is also there in other realms. But the Kubera here and the Kubera there are different. However, they do not connect. Kubera in our Mrityu gives you 1,000 crores. There will be a moment where you need to come back and burn it. There will be a moment where even if you have 100 rupees, you will not be able to buy a biscuit. Nobody is going to pour a cup of tea for you because nobody is even ready to touch your money. The shopkeeper is not ready to touch your money. What is the message in this that I saw? What was the message? And my eyes met him and I am seeing all the karma that he must have earned. Why is he suffering so much? Even with money in his hand, why is nobody touching money from his hand? I don't think there was a more sadder lesson that I could have got before as I was giving out the Swarnakarshana Bhairava mantra. The reason why you go to the direct source is because he sees you across realms. Kubera here gives you for all your tapa. See, all the asuras, they have been given boons by Brahma within the cosmic creation that he can manifest and control. Within that, they've all got big boons. However, it is beyond their karma. Why you go to the source is because he knows that it is ultimately your desire for the asura. Desire for an asura is to cause pain, cause destruction, get to the highest levels, own more than he can ever use. All these are asuric tendencies. However, it is when you go to the source itself that he will know that across realms, this much is what you need to be truly happy. Look within yourself. You do not need more than this. You do not need more than this, because if they give you this 1,000 crores, there will be a moment where you will step on multiple toes and you will not even know. And there will be those people who you stamped on, who will have to come back and see you in that pitiable moment. They will not remember who they were in a previous birth. However, they will see you sitting there and take pity on you. And there you burn karma. That man who was sitting there is burning karma. He has money, but nobody is even able to touch his money. That is the point. How you attain and how you pray for grandeur, how you call upon wealth, how you call upon whatever it is that you call legacy, treasure, whatever it is that you call, how you attain it matters. And when Kubera did 10,000 years worth of tapasya to Bhairava, what did he get? He got the name, that is Dhanada, the one who can give money. When you do it, it is let Swarnakarshana Bhairava decide as per your karma what it is that you can contain. Kubera too went through a very nasty set of karma. He attained everything and he thought that he is at that level. He started living at that level and then it was also snatched out of him. So you go to that Swarnakarshana Bhairava who gives you the ability to live grand and also the understanding within you that this much is all that you require. It is a few tick boxes, some of it that will satisfy you and tell you that, yeah, now that my neighbors see me like this, now that my relatives see me like this, now that my boss has accepted me, now that I've attained these 5 promotions, I am done. Now I want to know who is Shiva. Give me the state of Shiva, so that you do not, even at 70, 80, 90 years of age, you're still thinking how to get more. How much, see, certain astrological placements and certain sadhanas across your birth is going to place you at a state wherein you will be able to attain, even at the age of 90, a lot of wealth. But you'll come back for what? Think of that. Wealth that is gotten by physical prayers to deities that are restricted within this realm has to be attained, and whatever karma is burnt is also burnt in the same realm. You go to that source who gave that Shakti to Kubera, who gave that Shakti to Mahalakshmi, who gave them the ability to give it to others. Then you go to him. You ask him for it. That is why Swarnakarshana Bhairava. Because let's face it, if there are 100 people today, okay, they're saying it is crores and crores. Let us not go into that subject now. If there are 100 people who are in the path of Bhairava today, 99 or 98% of them, that based on the emails that I'm reading, they are very much worried about their jobs. They're very much worried about their future. They're very much worried about the grandiose, the cars, the bungalows. They want the wealth. They want their son to study there. They want their daughters to be at this level. They want their daughters to be financially secure. When she's just 10 years old, they're already thinking of all that. All this places you not in the path of Bhairava. It places you in the path of Kubera. So like Kubera, don't pray to Kubera. You pray to Kubera, that is also fine. But pray to the source. That is why we go into Swarnakarshana Bhairava. It is compulsory. You will have to put in 9, 10 years in this path. That is the path. Before you even think of Kala Bhairava. Kala Bhairava, that's that state where he is going to open the door and show you the path to somebody like her. Shakti. Untouchable, unimaginable Shakti. If you're thinking about how to secure my daughter in 2120, granddaughter, that is a very limited thought that is within the Mrityu-loka itself. You need to rise above. At the same time, Swarnakarshana Bhairava is seated on the golden throne. He is not represented in the sitting in the forest, or an ascetic life. He is represented as the one who has taken control of the entire wealth of that specific Mrityuloka and has taken the control and is now providing to Ma Lakshmi, the deity to whom you all pray and invite her to your home, and she is not stably sitting there all the time. But however, when she is unstable and losing that wealth, she goes to him. When Kubera is given the ability to grant wealth, he has got it from him. So you also go to him and ask him. He looks at your karma across the realms and gives it to you to that extent which you do not lose your Lanka. You are not thrown into the prison. You are not destroyed. He keeps you at that state where whatever you attain is permanent and your name is untarnished and your name lives by itself as a legacy. He gives you that. Swarnakarshana Bhairava gives you the ability to live as the hero, as the Nayaka within this world. You might be a normal, very simple, middle class person, but you will still be the Nayaka. Nobody in your family will be able to find fault with you. Nobody in your wife or your kids, nobody will be able to truly associate a fault on you. Even when they blame you, they'll start to realize that actually he is not the person, I am just doing it for my ego. That level of understanding and grandiose he will give you. That is Swarnakarshana Bhairava path. You do not look at the Smashana. There is a lot of time. There is a lot of time for that. You're still very much in the quest for grandiose. Don't go into the path of the deities who are still in the Brahma's design. They themselves have attained the boon and taking the Shakti from the ultimate creator who's there across the cosmos. It is Mahadhya, it is the state of Sadashiva. They're one and the same. Mahadhya and the state of Sadashiva, they're one and the same. They're within each other. Their manifestation is the entire Loka of Bhairava, who come and destroy every channel is broken down and said that these four paths aside, one single path that I will now directly teach you. The teacher is now gotten down onto the streets and has started to teach all the students because the middlemen were not right. The middlemen are delaying progress. The Deva Loka by itself is known to be selfish, that it keeps Vidya away from you. However, when the greatest of the great, it is the state of Sadashiva and the state of Adi Shakti, Mahadhya, when they realize that that is not right, they give you the fifth head directly, and that is when you go to the source to live as if you are Bhairava. So there are multiple representations of Swarnakarshana Bhairava and how he is prayed to. The first and the main one you see is him standing with the white dog. So his Vahana attains the status of the grand Vahana of the glorious divine white light. And he stands there adored in jewels, full of gold, purity, divinity. So he has taken the status of wealth from the Brahma's design within the specific cosmos. He is the Nayaka. Now he is the hero. When you go in that path, you are supposed to embody him. So when you pray to him, you must assume and behave and completely become him. When you pray to Swarnakarshana Bhairava, do not pray to him as if it is some deity sitting somewhere on a plane where you cannot even envision. That is not how you go think of him. You begin to envision him within you. That desire which my parents, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, 7.5 generations worth of desires that have been put into my blood, I now burn it in a single life. Desires without earning karma. Because he is the one who gave it to Kubera. Kubera himself has come to the streets, prison. Kubera has come to the prison. Kubera has given the path. However, he will also not be able to control. Kubera doesn't have the control to keep you away from the state where you're sitting like that man I saw in the street. Kubera cannot do that. Swarnakarshana Bhairava can, because he's the master of karma. Bhairava is the master of karma. He is deputed by, he is Shiva. He is the son of Mahadhya. He is creation itself. He is the son of Mahadhya. Remember that. So when he comes, he also knows across the realms, not just your past birth. Brahma sees your past birth. What were you 10 births before? Bhairava sees you. What are you across the realms? Where do you satisfy the need for wealth, where there is another life of you where you are the managing director of multiple corporates? You're so rich. He shows you and attaches you to that mindset where you realize that I've lived it. I have already lived where I have 100 horses. I have already lived and in my own sense of realization, I see myself having owned those bungalows. Then why do I in this quest sully or destroy my sadhana thinking of that? He gives you that state where, see, at this level, at this realm that you live, this is all that you need. And I will give you peace, which even the one sitting with 2000 crores will not have. I give you that peace. Wealth is an extraordinary instrument. It is definitely, no, you cannot say that unless you have 2000 crores, you cannot say how it feels. You cannot say it is not worth it to have it. However, 2000 crores also begets a lot of toes that you have to stamp on. A lot of people who are scribbing and scolding and like thinking that you are extremely cruel while smiling at your face. This also has been earned. It has to be burnt. Earned in this realm has to be burnt in this realm. The only one who can give you across realms is the one who gives wealth to Mahalakshmi and Kubera. So where do you go? Not here, there. That is the second representation of Swarnakarshana Bhairava that you see, where he stands and gives money from on the right side to Kubera, to Kubera, and on the left side to Mahalakshmi. So women who are generally the Bhaira Tattva within your life is missing. You are distancing yourself from your father. At the same time, you're not interested in a married life with a man and all that. Generally, this specific photo will give you a lot of adhara. Because here, you as embodying Mahalakshmi within you, you are now seeking grandiose from him. Directly from Bhairava. So, like I mentioned in one of my last videos, so it's all a continuation. You'll have to watch it like a very long movie. On the 11th day of the cycle, that specific photo will give you a lot of adhara. That is an excellent photograph of Swarnakarshana Bhairava, Mahalakshmi and Kubera. In that you embody and live and breathe and become that Mahalakshmi, and you bring Bhairava Tattva within. So it is directly from Bhairava to Mahalakshmi. You can embody that, and that is a great picture for you to visualize. There is another representation of Bhairava wherein he sits on the golden throne and Bhairavi sits on his lap. This is an excellent meditative tool for, again, entire Swarnakarshana Bhairava family itself is within samsara only. He is very much, he is not in the smashana. He is very much in the malls, in the movie theaters, in the corporates, in the political battlegrounds. He's in the parliament. He's in the movie sets. He's in the racing grounds. He's in the cricket stadiums. He's grand. Okay. So when he seats Bhairavi on his lap, he represents the ultimate form of the Grihastha. He represents the married man who holds within him the inclination to further his bloodline, the inclination to go for the promotion, the inclination to go higher in his career. At that moment, Bhairavi sits very comfortably and continues the joint operation, that is their life. So that third picture is excellent for somebody who is just recently married, looking for furthering of the bloodline, looking for properties, a long married life and all that. Somebody, a lady who is not in the path of married life, who has decided that the Bhairava Tattva will be external and she'll have to bring that within him by herself, by herself. That's photo where he's standing in between and she's on the left side. That is an kneeling down on the left side and taking his blessings. You know, she takes it in the form of the namaskara. That is an excellent photo. Bhairava standing by himself with a white dog, that is him who has just started to take control of the entire Brahma Loka. That specific cosmos is ruled by him, and whatever wealth he gives you will be in tune with your karma. And the desires that without your knowledge is very much present in your blood. So this is the basic crux of Swarnakarshana Bhairava, and why wealth or anything that glitters should be attained without karma. Our goal is to satisfy ourselves with a different realm where we have attained all this, so that we lose that extreme urge to bring more than what we would need, more than what we are meant to have. And with that, the karma that is going to keep us here forever. Prakriti is a very cruel being sometimes. When you are putting all your effort, all the strength that you could have put in sadhana, you're putting into chasing after things like 10,000 crores and all that, she will keep you there. She will put you through all the roles, right? From the dog to the ant to the housemaid to the drivers that you insult, to your enemies cribbing about you, everything. So wealth is not the right way for you to attain grandeur. It is through Swarnakarshana Bhairava way of living that karma should always be kept at the highest. You should always remember that anything that is beyond your means is going to bring you karma and keep you down. So wholeheartedly live in samsara, wholeheartedly achieve all your desires. However, keep in mind always that there is a limit, and do not think of that 6,000 crore worth film actor that you want to be, while also thinking that how much karma you would have also already incurred and how much you will be coming back to burn. Who was the man I was sitting and seeing that nobody wants to touch? Nobody wants to touch his money. Nobody wants to touch his money also. He's thinking of rotten flesh. There are flies all over him. His eyes are begging, but even the money that somebody has thrown onto him and he has caught and kept in his bowl, who will take it from his bowl now? What is that karma? So how you pray for wealth matters. That is why we have Swarnakarshana Bhairava. Bhairava is across the realms. He knows how much to give you so that you safely progress, and you don't progress reverse. You don't progress within your, you don't get caught in your own cycle where, come on, 10,000 crores, now he has to burn this 10,000 people who he has hurt, and you've already attained that in another realm. Realize that, with that, come to a state of oneness across your realms, attain the mode of being God itself. Oneness is Bhairava, living, breathing, walking as Bhairava. I see people who have claimed, some very sad examples came up, who are claiming to be monks. However, okay, this is a subject I wanted to address. This is specifically for women. Spirituality is not as clean as you think it is. It is being ruled by extremely, there are foxes. There are foxes roaming around in the guise of a monk and all that. There will be genuine, there will be terrible people also roaming in these paths. Be careful. Just because somebody starts chatting to you and shows you a little bit of compassion, a little bit of understanding here, types some AI type of weird posts, don't go and fall into that trap. Bhairava, why Mahalakshmi? Who is Mahalakshmi's consort? Yet, when Mahalakshmi has a specific consort, she still bows down and salutes to Swarnakarshana Bhairava, because the grandeur is still within you. I've told you why the 11th day cycle matters. You need to give yourself a few sankalpas. Take them, that 5, 10 sankalpas, and bring the Bhairava within. And then he will show you who is that partner, if at all you need it or do not need it. He will show you the path. You're still making a physical body, which is a manifestation within Brahma Loka, to look at some weird posts and some weird comments, and you're thinking that this is the person. I wanted to not address this subject at all, but however, it is coming to my realization that many of the women are being pulled into by certain foxes. Be careful. Protect yourself. Everything that you see is also a design. Prakriti will also send you people who will divert you and take you out of the path. Somebody who talks about Bhairava, Bhairava, I am Bhairava, I am Bhairava, he keeps on saying that. Do not go and fall into that. It is within. I've told you, if there is nobody with you also, within you, from the 11th day of your cycle, there is Bhairava within. Pray to that within you. The deity is within you. Now, the reason I'll tell you is just a small story, because once this thought started coming into my mind, I prefer to be the witness and not get involved in all this. However, I was traveling to my office. The previous night I had got this thought that I should address this subject, where women are being pulled into certain unnecessary beings who have not even taken, who have not yet attained control on their own lust, walking around and calling themselves guru and all that. Be careful. There are some very dangerous entities in this path today. Be very careful. So I did not want to address this, but I was traveling to my office, and for some strange reason the traffic sort of diverted and put me behind a school van. I'm sitting in that van. Through the large rear glass, I'm seeing some students in it. The entire van is full of girl students, and they would be around, I think maybe anywhere between 7 to 10 years of age, very sweet looking small girls. All right, I am generally extremely non-reactive. You will not even find an expression on my face. I'm like my mind is always somewhere else. I'm just going. I saw that one of the small girls, and just the day before I had the thought that I'm having realization, and with proof I'm realizing that women are being misguided in this path. I'm looking at this girl, she starts to wave. I'm not reactive, I'm still not reacting. She has the most beautiful smile. Saying Bala there. It's like her. She's talking to me. I also waved my hand. So immediately she laughed, and her face sort of lit up, and she called her friend and showed, see, I have this big jeep and all that, like probably they were very excited for that. And the other one also looked at me, and she also waved, and I waved again. Then little by little they started calling all the girls, and all these little girls less than 10 years of age, very sweet looking, innocent girls, like they're all wearing this vibhuti and looking so clean and pious. They're all waving to me, and I'm just thinking, what is happening? Why are all of these young girls waving to me? Is there a message in this? And then I noticed that behind the van, on the glass through which I'm looking at them, I had not noticed that there is a Tripunda and Mahadeva's sign is very clearly there. So I thought, okay, I should address this subject. Please take care of yourself. Do not blindly allow Prakriti to take over, because in the path of sadhana, and if you decided that your Ishta is Bhairava, do not fall into these traps. Once that space is occupied by a being of a lower stature, he will not come back there. He will move out of that space. Bhairava will move out of your life, and your focus would shift towards that person to whom you try to equate and place along with him. Very difficult to bring him back after that. So women, please be very stable in your path. Somebody comes, don't just keep yourself as the most precious flower that you are. Be precious towards yourself. Convince yourself that you're extremely precious. You're looking for a guru, give it 2 to 3 years, don't rush. Then again, even after that, I was just thinking, okay, maybe one single sign, I should not do it. And the next day, I am going by the same path. Again, the same van right in front of me, and the same first girl who waved is there. I purposely overtook that van and went off. But my mind was very clear that I have to address this subject, that when you are in the path of Bhairava, Mahalakshmi, she has a consort. Mahalakshmi has Swami Narasimha. Mahalakshmi has Mahavishnu as the consort. However, she still prays to Bhairava when she's sitting there alone. So when Mahalakshmi is without her Adhara, she prays to Bhairava directly. Be careful. Some vagabond thought should not distract you. Go and look only at him. So I want you all to look at these 3 photos. Bhairava standing with the white dog. Bhairava standing, Swarnakarshana Bhairava standing, and Kubera, who he gives the ability to give wealth after 10,000 years of penance. Ma Lakshmi, again the goddess of wealth as we call her, praying to him for empowering her. And then Bhairava, who is the Nayaka of the samsara, the hero, the king, seated with his Bhairavi on the lap. Take a look at these pictures and think. At some state, if you feel that your mind is sort of disassociating and one of these photos make more sense to you, finish the sankalpa and you may even choose to keep that photo. Especially women who do not have the need or urge to physically be involved with marriage, where physical marriage is not on your mind. The middle one, the Bhairava standing, Mahalakshmi making a namaskara, yes, because Bhairava at that state is not her consort. However, she still makes the prayers to him. Shakti is from that path for her. Adhara for Mahalakshmi is given by that Swarnakarshana Bhairava standing there. And the same Swarnakarshana Bhairava gives the Adhara to Kubera, who is Dhanadha, the one who can give money. So go to the source and not in between. There is another message in this. Come and connect to the source. Do not get caught by the agents who will now distract you and throw you out of the path. Be careful. I am seeing this happening. Women especially, be careful. I think I'm done for today. If you're already in the path and you specifically kept a photo, don't get confused and try to change it. And in the next video, we will talk about, there is some controversy about Om Bhairavaya Namaha being incomplete mantra, fake mantra, and all that. I heard that. I will give my views on that. Number one. Number two, I will give my views on placing of Kala Bhairava as a deity and keeping his photo in the house. What is the plus and minus? Offering of Karan. Why Karan or Jaggery water is offered to Kala Bhairava, and this sort of specific generic subjects I will probably be putting a video tomorrow. Let's see if the Adesh comes. Bhairava Kalike Namostute. Om Namo Bhairava Namo Namo.